I am Javier Palomarez, and I am the President and CEO of the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And I do have the honor of representing now, because brand new numbers came in 2 weeks ago, and it's no longer 3.2 million Hispanic-owned firms. It is now 4.1 million Hispanic-owned firms. And it is no longer $486 billion that we contribute to our American economy. It is now $661 billion that our community contributes to our American economy every year. And we also advocate on behalf of 250 major American corporations, of course, including Southern California Edison. And we do this through our network of over 200 local chambers and business associations nationwide. But while the USHCC represents the interests of businessmen and women who happen to be of Hispanic descent, we never forget that we are first and foremost American businesses. And every tax bill we pay, every job we create, every product we manufacture, and every single service we provide goes to benefit our American economy. And whether it's in the halls of Congress, state capitals, the White House, or corporate headquarters, our organization's mission is to place the Latino business community at the forefront of our nation's economic agenda. As corporate executives and business leaders in this room, for us, I think one reality is very clear, and that is that the Hispanic community has become a defining feature in the changing face of America. As the total U.S. Hispanic population continues to grow, so does our ability to determine the course of our nation's economic, social, and political future. We are at the precipice right now. Consider the following. In the last decade, more than 53% of America's overall population growth came from the Hispanic community. In the next decade, more than 52% of the overall population growth in this nation will once again come from the Hispanic community. Today, our community represents the nation's largest minority group, with more than 55 million Latinos now living in the U.S. In fact, America's Hispanic consumer purchasing power is at $1.5 trillion strong. If we were our own economy, that economy would be larger than Mexico, larger than South Korea, larger than Saudi Arabia, and the list goes on. And as our numbers have grown, so too has our clout. As we stand right now, every 30 seconds, a Latino turns 18 in this country and becomes an eligible voter. That's over 62,000 brand new voters every single month, and that will be the case for the next 21 years in a row. So if you're running for office in this country, for elected office, whether it's a dog catcher or the President of the United States, and you're not taking the Hispanic community into account, God help you. As we stand right now, 1 in 4 kids in school today is of Hispanic descent. Right now, 1 in 6 people alive and breathing in this country is of Hispanic descent. So for those of you who are not Hispanic in this room, bless you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your support. And if we haven't gotten to you, give us about 15 minutes and we'll get around to you as well. And last but not least, one of my favorite data points is that Hispanic-owned businesses are now starting up at a rate of 3 to 1 when compared to the national average. These entrepreneurial men and women are leading overall small business growth, a segment of the U.S. economy that is responsible for creating fully 2/3 of all new American jobs. The success of our business community has not been a lonely journey, frankly. In fact, far from it. Hundreds of Fortune 500 companies are actively integrating not only Hispanic, but all minority-owned businesses into their supply chains, and the results have been groundbreaking. In fact, according to a study conducted by the Hackett Group, companies with diverse supply chains see a 133% greater return on their investment when compared to their counterparts. The same report also discovered that companies working with minority-owned businesses spend 20% less on their operations and have procurement teams half the size of their competitors. So contrary to popular belief, working with Hispanic and minority-owned companies is the right thing to do. Ladies and gentlemen, these numbers speak for themselves. When it comes to promoting corporate diversity and inclusion, turns out that the principled approach is in fact the profitable approach. And again, contrary to popular belief, we're learning that the successes of big business and small businesses are not diametrically opposed. In fact, they are one and the same. And I think Southern California Edison is a wonderful illustration of that fact. Southern California Edison, you guys, literally have made a steadfast commitment to serving the Latino community by creating jobs and fostering economic development where they are needed the most. Last year, as I understand, you invested over $1.7 billion with minority, women, and service-disabled-owned companies. That was an astounding 45% of your total procurement spend. That is at the very forefront of this entire nation. And Pedro, you deserve a huge round of applause for that. That is amazing. That is amazing. That's American leadership. That's American leadership. And if it can be done here, it can be done in other places. And as if that wasn't enough, this year alone, you've contracted with 142 Hispanic-owned businesses. So thank you, Southern California Edison, for what you're doing. I think that the numbers tell the tale. Southern California Edison, more than anyone, you clearly recognize that by reflecting the faces of your customers, your employees, and your shareholders, your supply chains are now benefiting, and so is this entire nation. Thanks to you and corporations like you, American small businesses are thriving today. And much like Southern California Edison, the USHEC also believes that the story of America's diverse business community is one of mutual opportunity, shared prosperity, and a rising tide that lifts all boats in this nation. And with the help of support from robust supply chains, ERG initiatives like those at LEAD, corporate inclusion programs, and gatherings like this one from industry leaders like SCE, and thanks to leaders like all of you, Hispanic-owned businesses have become a national treasure, a proud chapter in the story of an America that was built, preserved, and renewed by immigrants and pioneers. In fact, in a recent study showed the Hispanic entrepreneurs helped our nation recover from the 2008 recession. The reality of it is, very few will tell you this, but between 2008 and 2013, the startup rate of small businesses in this country was in fact declining. Now this is cause for great concern, especially in a country that relies on small businesses to create 2/3 of all jobs. So what did Latino-owned businesses do during that tumultuous period? Hispanic businesses stayed the course, determined and undaunted, creating 581,000 brand new companies. Not only did we survive the economic downturn, we thrived in it. And that's even remarkable, even by today's standards. And consider this, if those 581,000 new businesses had not been created, the unemployment rate in this country would have exploded to over 10%, and that recession would have become a full-blown depression. In a very, very real sense, America's Hispanic businesses helped put a floor on the financial collapse and supported our current path toward economic recovery. You did that. Hispanic-owned firms in this country did that. That is our legacy. The Hispanic community has secured a place in the story of America's economic renewal. Our page in this defining chapter will be studied for years to come. Never forget. So thank you again for all those who believe in Hispanic business enterprise, and thank you especially, Southern California Edison, for your unwavering commitment and support. Yours is a brand that is deeply admired in the Hispanic community, and especially by Hispanic businesses. Today's event, I think, perfectly illustrates why. This event recognizes the extraordinary achievements of minority-owned businesses, bringing together some of Southern California Edison's best suppliers. And let's not forget your own employee base, 56% of which is minority right now, with 46% of your elected officers as minorities and women. They are here, as well, representing your esteemed company with honor, with hard work, and with pride. And it beams and it shows. In a very real sense, your leadership at Southern California Edison is assuming what I believe is a critical role for our community, and that is the role of a mentor. I believe that mentorship is perhaps the ultimate way of giving back. It may be the most noble form of philanthropy. Being a mentor really doesn't cost you a dime, yet you are giving the most valuable resources imaginable: your connections, your network, your experience, and your time. Mentors serve as a compass, helping us on the right path. They share with us wisdom obtained from life's lessons and enrich our lives so that we may in turn share those lessons with others. Life powered by Edison. America's best days still lie ahead of us. To that end, I commend you all again for being here. Our association, Southern California Edison, and the Hispanic business leaders in this room are all united by our quintessential American stories, each of them built on hard work, on accountability, and on a positive vision for our future. We understand that collaboration works better than conflict. Solidarity will always outlast isolation, and that our differences will never outweigh our common interests. Together, let's all continue to serve our companies, our communities, and our country. Let us recommit ourselves today and every day to the common cause of building a brighter American future. So let's continue to lean on one another, to mentor one another, and to stand tall with one another. Let's show our colleagues throughout corporate America and beyond that at Southern California Edison, diversity and inclusion is simply good business. Thank you all very much.